were you lost? I won't let you fall down.
I am the first human in this territory.
It's the most beautiful night. Today was not a romantic day.
But no, I know I am not the only.
I've been thinking about antibodies a lot because of this pandemic, but also this word antibody. I understand that it's general, against any body, an invading body, but I've also been thinking about how we are against the body, certain types of bodies.
Sensation is the conversion of energy from environmental or internal stimuli into a pattern of nervous system response.
I am the first human in this territory.
Build capacity. How you were going to start prioritizing self-care and stop overcommitting. That you drink too much coffee. barely slept for a week to get that project off the ground by showtime. Do you remember that feeling of missing out? The incredible pressure to be somewhere else, do something else, something more important. Like if you didn't show up, you might just die. Or not die. Let's not be dramatic.
I don't mind being alone like I used to. Like I used to.
But like showing up, making things happen, going to work, to school, to parties, festivals, conferences, gigs, it was like just not optional, I guess. Do you remember that day in February? I wonder what day it was. There were a couple of days when I just sat there having calls and deleting thing after thing off my calendar. And then I looked at March, and then April, and I looked at a blank calendar and I felt so much relief and terror and disbelief and all those other feelings. But the relief was big. I put my finger on why this was after a while. I wasn't missing out on anything else. I had permission to stay home, to slow down a little, because everyone else deleted their calendars too. Turns out I'm deeply susceptible to the pace of the world. What do you think? Aren't we all?
Today was not a romantic day.
I am the first human in this territory.
I'm an insomniac, up all night with a spinning mind, day sleeper. You know that about me. It's only when I'm camping and I start to regulate a little bit. And even that, it doesn't last. I was talking to a dear friend and another self-made artist and hustler who's been working for herself as long as I have. She said to me, see, this is what it takes to make us stop. Literally, the whole world has to stop. Because we'll always find something else to do.
Stop for very long, maybe 2 weeks. But those 2 weeks were the first time either of us had taken a breath like that for a very long time. And I'm holding on to those 2 weeks while we figure out what to do now, how to do now. I'm remembering that relief, that exhalation of breath, the quietude over city skies. We humans are terrible at lasting memories, but maybe we can remember this one. Do you remember that letter that I wrote to you from a few months ago from the train to Berlin? I was moving at warp speed even for me. City to city, plane to plane. 8 days in 8 cities and 4 countries. I was laughing at myself. But even then I was thinking, never again. We know it's not sustainable. I think my generalized anxiety about the world manifests sometimes in just trying to move faster and faster. Like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but at least if I'm moving fast enough, I know I'm doing something. How are you lost? Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, stale sin, there's no music in your grin. What scares me is how casually you see our souls.
Is this the sum of discovery and creation?
What's the use of ethics when goodness and brightness can be smothered?
I am the first human in this territory.
Oh, fragile fate, this poem bleeds out a dense rage. I'd kill to pick my own sorrows. Leave my love alone, as if you could carry something this fast. His name's enshrined on my bones.
I am the first human in this territory. Carved my cries into these walls first so that my brother and sister knew what was coming. See, I am the first. But no, I know I am not the only. I know that I'm just history turning. I know that I am history returning. My mother, she wasn't the first in her country. See, she had company. Came out sprinting first though. Came out running into this world before my father. Before me, my mother was a sprinter. Still one of the fastest women that Nebraska has ever seen. It's still on the tip of their tongue like it's the 1980s, and I wonder how it feels to be decades in and still be one of the fastest feet to have ever touched that soil. But you know, some folks just ain't soil. Some folks are trees.
My remains eclipsed by all that you stole from me. You'll always turn victim in loving. I'll keep the aid, find a way to cheat apathy. You are a beast that I won't appease, won't appease, won't appease.
Some walk through this world leaving imprints for the entire world to see. I'm talking about Baldwin B type folks. I'm talking about Angelou C type folks.
Is this the sum of discovery and creation?
We both know who's gonna win. What's the sense in bartering?
Some folks are just walking through, leaving little crumbs of legacy behind, and I want to tell my mother this. as she is walking around a racetrack, circle after circle, coaxing me to come. I want to say that I'm settled here now, that her voice is a god with an unknown face, and that my father rages hell in this holy water too, but that I trust it either way, believing in this world first. Doctors prying my mother apart, pulling on me into a new world, beating on me to cry, grabbing on me to tremble. My mother tells me this as I rest my eyes beneath her belly button that is now resting as my skyline, but that was once my sea.
Have you heard about soundscape ecology? It's the idea that animals in nature locate their sounds at different frequencies and different times of the day so that they can hear each other. Sounds of a certain type offer protection or instill fear. Sound waves echolocate, even though not for a while. Of course, humans are destroying this natural balance like all the others. Our loudness and machines, sheer numbers and swaths of pavement mess it all up. I heard the marine mammals are doing much better since the virus. They can hear each other again. It's anecdotal, but animals like dolphins and seals are being seen in places where they haven't been seen for decades. The noise and the activity on the water have diminished, biologist Carlos Duarte said. These animals have a culture that has passed through generations, and the young ones are probably feeling curious about areas that were part of their territory decades ago. Studies of ecosystems after the First and Second World War showed marine recovery, in spite of all the bombs dropped. We aren't destroying each other directly this time. Just over a year ago, I went back to Vietnam for the first time. I think it's interesting how second-generation children say, going back. But I can't say it any other way. I'm not going home to Vietnam. I'm going back somewhere I've never physically been. But I'm still going back. It's not a new place. The vessel that is my body is transporting DNA from this place back to that place. I wonder where we'll all go back to. Here's the thing about sound. It's physical. Even at a distance, when we hear each other, a sound wave touches our bodies. Physical vibrations produced by my body in space travel through air or water or the bones of the human skull and resonate. Look over there. Do you see it? There's another one over here.
Sensation is the conversion of energy from an environmental or internal stimuli into a pattern of nervous system response. Today was not a romantic day. Today I said $26.95 is your total, and hi there, what can I get for you? Yes, that comes with a soda, more times than I can count. No one imagined missing something like this. I don't mind being alone like I used to, not in the same way. Days easily filled by one simple task, sitting in an armchair, reading, cooking a meal. Watching so many people, once on my periphery, drifting out into separate unknowns. Is that what's supposed to happen? I ask myself daily how this confounding reality came to be. Is this the sum of discovery and creation? It's the most beautiful night. The only things of any relevance are the hummingbird gorging itself on the flowers to my right, the deafening hum of cicadas, and the clouds backlit with orange and pink, the quickly disappearing sunlight.
How easy is it to replicate a voice?
I met a woman named Trina tonight, volunteering at the same place. She saw a book I had and asked what I was reading. It's Fragrant Palm Leaves by Thich Nhat Hanh. His journals from the 60s while he was in Vietnam still, and after he was exiled. She said he's the reason I became a Catholic. I was studying Buddhism, and he said Americans should look to their own religions first to see what they can find there.
I am the first human in this territory.
It's the most beautiful night.
It's like smoking. We all know it's bad for us, but that isn't enough of a deterrent. We do things to reinforce our imagined immortality. At least I know I do. Risky behavior, even things that are technically pretty safe, make us feel alive. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Because we live on the precipice of awareness of our ultimate mortality. Being at peace with death is terrifying, even if we think we are. Let me read you this other passage by Han. When I was a young monk, I was taught that the greatest sufferings were birth, sickness, old age, death, unfulfilled dreams, separation from loved ones, and contact with those who we despise. But the real suffering of humankind lies in the way we look at reality. Look and you will see that birth, old age, sickness, death, unfulfilled hope, separation from loved ones, and contact with those we despise are also wonders in themselves. They are all precious aspects of existence. Without them, existence would not be possible. Most important is knowing how to ride the waves of impermanence. Smiling as one who knows he has never been born and will never die. The Buddha told this story. A man threw a stone at a dog. Crazed with pain, the dog barked at the stone, not understanding that the cause of his pain was the man, not the stone. In the same way, we think that forms, sounds, smells, tastes, and objects of touch are the sources of our suffering, and that to overcome suffering, form, sound, smell, taste, and touch must all be destroyed. We don't realize that our suffering lies in the way we see and use form, sound, smell, taste, and touch, because we view reality through the dark curtains of our narrow views and selfish desires. Kim and I were talking about beneficial viruses the other day, and it made me start reading, looking for which viruses benefit the human ecosystem. She was asking the question, but is sickness a bad thing? We always look at it like our enemy. I think it's like anything else. It has to be in balance. The extremities are where we run into problems. How easy is it to replicate a voice? How were you lost? I won't let you down. That's beautiful. Can you get any closer? Thanks for coming with me.